Many people have got extremely wealthy through selling on eBay. Today we're going to be looking at some reselling tips, and first of all we're going to look at tip number 1, going all the way back in time to the Californian gold rush. This was a product that was made back in the 1800s and its designer was from New York, and of course we're talking about Levi Strauss. Now Levi's have been around for a very long time. After the gold rush it was the cowboys of Texas that wore these, but they just became a fashion icon throughout the ages. Very popular in the 1950s, and what you're going to see now is an example of the oldest pair of Levi jeans that sold for thousands. If you're lucky enough when you're sourcing to find one of these old Levi leather jackets, they fetch serious money. As you can see, serious money. Not just the leather but the suede too. And these jackets are mostly made in the 60s all the way through to the 80s. And also fashion accessories like these caps here, this trucker cap, £200. I mean, it's very old. You can see from the tags here. And if you do find anything like that, snap it up. Also look out for these Levi 506 denim jackets. They come in stonewash and the darker denim. The darker denim seems to fetch a little bit more, and these are the tags you should be looking out for. So sheepskin coats too, I've never seen these out in the wild, but they sell really well. A lot of these are going to be around about the 80s time period, the yuppie time period. And also the 507 jacket. The 507 jacket is another really good seller, particularly if you can find the older label like this. Moving on to denim jeans, you want to be looking for the 501, slightly baggier, and generally you find them mostly in the darker denim. I had a pair of these myself back in the 90s, I regret selling them now. Also you've got the 505, the Levi 505 denim jeans. These are very popular. In terms of ladies' clothing, you want to be looking for the 517, and of course t-shirts. T-shirts from the 90s are very popular, and sad to say I did own most of these. Like these shorts here, I owned quite a few pairs of these and they sell really well now. As you can see in this next picture, when I was young and I was touring America, I was absolutely kitted out with Levi stuff. Loved it. Anyway, the labels you want to look for are 2005. These are your inside labels for your jeans. And then we're going all the way back to 1988. And we're also going to be looking at the t-shirt labels in a minute. This is all courtesy of Reddit, by the way, this information. These aren't my pictures, so I just thought I'd put that in there. So the pictures that are there in the public domain. But these are the labels that you want to be looking for. Okay, we're moving on to tip number 2 now. In 1990, Paul G. Lang, a German entrepreneur, formed a company called Minichamps. These were die-cast cars that were really realistic, and they do fetch a lot of money today. So they started in 1990, and you can look at the detail of these cars. Absolutely fantastic. And you're going to see why they are so expensive in a minute. But look at the detail. So it was primarily sports cars, but also motorbikes that were designed by Paul Lang. And this line is still going to this day. So look out for the Minichamps sign on the box. And you can see now, these cars are fetching serious money. So if you do see any Minichamps, you might have to pay up a little bit, but the return will be worth it. So going on to tip number 3 now, an entrepreneur called Milton Bradley started a gaming company, not a gaming company but a game boarding company, right back in the days of Abraham Lincoln. Now this first game is a bit of a sore point for me because I've actually owned Dark Tower and it's at my ex-partner's house, so I don't think I'm going to get it back. But anyway, Look at the prices of some of these games, they're absolutely insane. And some of these games aren't that old. Some of them go back to the 60s, yeah. But some of these board games are from the 1980s, you know, the board games that I personally grew up with. And they go all the way through to the 90s. So if you do see these board games, even if they're not complete, they're still worth picking up for spares. I'm sure many of you are looking at these games now and thinking, I actually own that. Well, you can actually still find these games at Carboot, so that's the good news. For more information on Milton Bradley board games, I did a video last year, so if you want to check that out, it's in my channel. It covers all the prices of Milton Bradley board games. Thanks for watching today. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, because I plan on doing a reselling Bolo video every week. So have a great weekend, people.